Look at me making videos as if I have so much time in my hands. Welcome back to another mukbang, you guys. I am excited to have you again. We are having some more seafood. This time around we're having Spanish style seafood paella. This is a shout out to all my friends from countries that surround the Mediterranean Sea. I'm sure you guys have different versions of this. I know that this is a very popular food, and I'm excited to cook this for you today. I've done this once before. This time around, it's going to be a little bit different. I have some intense seafood. I'm not sure if I could actually fit all of this onto the pan, but we'll try. So let's go ahead and start cooking. I am going to turn this on. So first, let me go ahead and put this in here too. Wow, this thing gets really hot really fast. And my garlic, so onions and garlic. Put that oil in there. Don't be shy with the oil. It's a lot of food, so it's okay to put a lot of olive oil. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this cooks through so that it becomes kind of clear. The sizzling is starting. Let's see here. I have so many ingredients. It was kind of crazy to prepare, but totally worth it. So I actually got this pan at TJ Maxx. I love TJ Maxx. Please, if you're looking for anything affordable, like anything like home appliances, any of that stuff, go to TJ Maxx. I made the mistake of going to Bed Bath & Beyond, Macy's, stores like that, and they overcharge for things. And TJ Maxx is the secret. I love TJ Maxx. I feel so husband material cooking for you. Alright, so I think it's going to take a few more minutes. I have some sausages here. These are andouille sausages. Pretty much pork sausages. It smells so good. It smells so good. I have some wine. I'm taking you out on a date tonight, so this is yours, baby. Sip up, sip up, sip up. Cheers. I love me some cab. Nice. Looking very good here. Alright. So I've got a cup of rice. There's a specific type of rice to get. You can't just use any rice. You can use risotto. This one is called Arborio. I'll put it down in the description below. Ooh. potatoes. Dump that first thing in. You want the tomatoes to get mushy. Look at me multitasking.
La 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 la.
We're gonna add some of that dry white wine. There we go. Close that up. The alcohol will evaporate, so you're not going to get drunk on it. So right now I'm going to put some bay leaves, paprika, and salt. So just put the bay leaves wherever, and then we're going to dump this in here. Just like that. Alright, and this step is the most important part. This here is Spanish saffron. If you guys know what saffron is, it is one of the most expensive herbs you can find. But it's what you need to put in here to make it kind of authentic paella. So we're just going to use a good handful. See there. These guys are expensive. Just look it up. Trust. It's so fragrant. It's so amazing. I mean, you can do without it, but if you want the real deal, I would actually try to find it. Okay. And lastly, we're going to put some chicken stock. I would say just about that much. I'm going to flatten it out. You can always add more later. The one thing you don't want is for your paella to be like mushy because there's just too much liquid. Did you hear that? I seriously think that was one of the clams. If you didn't hear that, it just kind of did a little farting noise, a little squirting noise. Alright. I'm not going to add any more chicken stock. I think that looks amazing for now. So we're going to let this sit actually for 20 minutes. I'm gonna let the rice cook so that, you know, it soaks up all the water, and you're gonna see it rise a little bit later. And then now I'm gonna put some makeshift pan over it. Let's move that. The reason why I'm doing this is because I do not have a pot big enough to actually cover this paella pan up, so I'm just gonna make do with what I have. In the meantime, let's drink. Maybe I'll do a little bit of Netflixing. No, I'm not gonna Netflix. You know what's funny about wine? I know you've been wine tasting. I know you've done all of that. What's funny about wine tasting is that I swear every time I go and probably by the third wine, it all starts to taste the same. Like, there's really nothing different. And I don't know, I just get drunk so fast. So we can be all bougie about this, but at the end of the day, we just want to get to one goal, and that's a little sloppy. It made another noise. Alright, so it's about 10 minutes in. I have my safety oven mitts here. Alright, so we're going to take this off. Ooh. Take this off carefully. Let's see here. Looks so good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take a sip of wine. Duh. Alright, we're going to put in our seafood. So I went a little crazy on the seafood. But that's okay. First, I want to put in my manila clams. So I'm just going to sit them nicely in here. So these are still live clams. We want to make sure that they're cooked and that the shells open up. If the shells do not open, what does that mean, guys? They're dead. They're dead clams. So just arrange them beautifully. Alright. Now I have these massive prawns. I mean, they are massive. Kind of scary. So we'll sit them pretty, just like that. Move them over. Okay, next I am going to, okay, so I bought these guys. The reason why I'm afraid to use them is because I'm not sure if they'll open up. So I will put them in, and if they don't open up, don't be mad at me. I'm just gonna put in 3. I bought 4, but I'll put in 3. And I have these beautiful guys. So I'll situate them in a circle. In a circle like they're casting spells on me because I'm eating them. We'll do that. So I have mussels as well, but I'm gonna actually keep them for the last 3 minutes. The reason why is because I couldn't actually find fresh mussels, which is unfortunate, but I'll just have to make do with what I got. These are all still pretty fresh, so we're good to go. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Let me put this back on. So hot. All right, let's check up on these guys. So carefully take off my little crazy lid here. Let's see how they're looking. Okay, very, very pretty. So it's gonna need a little bit more time, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and put in my mussels. Where should I put them? Let me just put them right there. Just make this all pretty and shit. Are you guys cooking? Actually, let me flip some of these over so that they cook evenly. This part over. It's time. Alright, so I had to move them around a little bit just so that they all cook evenly. So it's been sitting for a little bit. Oh, that looks amazing. Yeah. Let's see here. We just want to make sure that these guys are open. This one's open. This one's open. This one is open too. They're all pretty much open, so I'm cool with that. So right now, I might kill it for some of you guys because I know that not everyone loves peas. I love peas, but it gives the dish a lot of color. See? Makes it look so much prettier. Perfect. Spread that around. Alright, decorate it, right? Make it look pretty. Get some lemons. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Alright, so now that we have that like that, and then now I have some Italian parsley. And voila, we've got ourselves some seafood paella. I'm so excited to have it. I think it's ready to go. I'm just gonna set up a little bit and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Holy shit. Doesn't that look so damn good? I am so excited to have this. I cannot wait. Let's sip to this. That was not a sip. Refill. Alright guys, let's dig in. Firstly, we have to obviously slippery. Amazing. Alright, so firstly I'm gonna try this guy here. These are my mussels. Let's try that. Holy moly. Mmm. The juices. The lime juice. Oh shit, it tastes so good. There's so much seafood in here, I can't even find any rice. There you go. Mmm. Holy shit. I mean, there is a reason why this is popular. Mmm. The sausage, fantastic. The clams, oh God. Dig in. So this is how it looks, the rice. Kind of like risotto. Mmm. Absolutely incredible. These clams though. I want to scoop up some of this sauce and rice into my clam. The flavors, how do I describe it? It's very, you can definitely taste the seafood flavor from, you know, from the juices of the shellfish. But it's very savory. It's almost very comforting. I'd call this comfort food, actually. Mmm. So damn good. Let's dig in. So we've got this prawn here. So this is a freshwater prawn. Actually, I have a pair of scissors here. Make it easier. Ooh, I think I broke him apart. Some meat here. Mmm. Huh. We got all the juices. Mmm. I am in heaven. Ow! That was hot. Ooh. Nothing much in there. Drain out all that. Oh my gosh. Jackpot. Egg. Ah. Mmm. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit and I'll get to it in just a moment. Mmm. This is so damn good. Oops. I destroyed him. Some mussel. Let's take a break. So let's get this shell here. I'm just gonna grab some rice. Stick it in there like that. Maybe I could dig out some crab guts from the inside, mix it all up. Mmm. Oh, I see the crab guts. Mmm. Holy shit. Presenting new dishware. Use this poor guy's shell. I really love the addition of the sausage. I guess not all recipes call for it. Not all paella recipes call for it, but I personally like it. Like I've said before in my past video, these blue crabs don't really have much. But there's something so enjoyable. I really like the natural juices that come out of them too. It's like digging for gold. So I had a wonderful day today, but I was checking just like my comment section for my last video, and someone by the name of Anonymous asked me a really interesting question. And I mean, she thought she was silly for asking it, but I didn't think it was silly. And I wanted to bring it up, actually. But the question was, she asked, you know, why is it that you, talking about me, and, you know, Richie Lee is another YouTuber, I'm not sure if you guys watch him, but why is it that you guys, as Vietnamese people, look so different from people that are from Vietnam? I mean, that wasn't word for word what she asked, but that's essentially what she's asking. Why is it that we look so westernized, right? And people that are from Vietnam look a certain way. Now, this is not just for Vietnamese people. I think she's just asking me because I happen to be Vietnamese, but this goes for all types of cultures and races and ethnicities, you know? Could be anyone. Could be Mexican, could be, you know, Chinese, Japanese, German, whatever it is. But I thought that was such a legit question, because the reason why I think it's legit is because a lot of times I do get people from Vietnam who are viewing my videos and are legit asking me, are you Vietnamese? And I tell them, of course I am. I mean, you could see my name. I don't have, you know, a name like Michael or Chris or whatever, or Jonathan. So yeah, I'm shocked to hear that they, you know, they're confused to see that, to know that I am Vietnamese as well, or whatever. Whatever the case. And I did reply to her, right? I told her that it has obviously a lot to do. I think it has primarily had to do with genes, right? At the end of the day, biology. I'm no scientist, but I know that has a lot to do with it. What are you doing? You want food?
Yes, please.
Why? Because it smells good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I have to feed somebody food. Hold on. What do you want? Tell me.
Oh,
He's too shy to talk. Oh my gosh. Here, let me just feed you. Here, do you like mussels or do you want just clams?
no, those are fine.
Okay. Ah, I can't like scoop anything. Here, I'm gonna give you this guy. Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Let's give you a little bit more. And a lime, or a lemon. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Close the door. I guess it smelled that good. That is the first time in my mukbang history. I guess this food was that appetizing. I hope you guys get a chance to make it yourself. That's how amazing it was. And I hope that answers anybody's questions regarding, if my boyfriend eats any of this food that I make. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes there are things that he just does not want to eat because it doesn't seem good to him. But I guess, oh, he was so hungry. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yes. Let's chat. So, yeah. So I was basically replying to her. I'm saying, I'm no scientist. I do obviously believe that it's all up to your genes, right? It depends on, but I had a few theories. I do understand what what she's saying, that, Vietnamese people that are born and raised in the Western culture, so Canada, United States, whatever. Just we're very different from those that are native to Vietnam. My theory, honestly, is that I honestly think it's based on our behavior or the way that we express ourselves, right? Our mannerisms. I think that has a lot to do with it. We act differently. We do. I think we're a bit more forward, aggressive, maybe assertive. I don't know if that's the case, but maybe the fact that you think that we look different is all subconscious thinking. I'm not sure what it is, but okay, maybe we do appear a little different. But honestly, I think that could be the case. I think it just, the way that I act and the way that I speak is a lot different. And also too, I also mentioned that it had a lot to do with, I think it has something to do with diet as well. What we eat here in the Western culture is totally different from what they eat over there, in the East. So, my parents are a lot smaller than I am. They're shorter than I am. They're smaller framed. And it leads me to believe that, having been born and raised here, I've, grown up eating American food, heavy, heavy items. So perhaps that's allowed me to grow as tall as I am. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's genes. So, no, I thought that was a fantastic question. It was so interesting to me because I do think that even people from Vietnam find that I do not look completely Vietnamese, whatever that means, Let's go for one of these guys. Actually, this one's really, this one's really open. What, did the shell crack or something? Anyways, take a look at this bad boy. He's huge. Okay, so how shall I take him out? Let's use a pair of scissors to cut him free. There you go. Alright, let's get rid of his shell. Okay. Really, really huge clam. I've actually never had these cherry clams before. Ooh. What is this? Briny stuff. Very chewy. It's got a consistency of like an octopus. Ooh, that is chewy. But it doesn't taste bad. It looks kind of gross, but it doesn't taste bad. Mmm. Let's move everything in the middle. But yeah, I thought that was so interesting what she said. Cool questions. I love questions like those. Perhaps, you know, at this moment that I've been, you know, told that I'm 100% Vietnamese. So maybe I have some other, I don't know, maybe I'm part something else or a percentage of something else, but I wouldn't know that. You know, I'm just taking my parents' word for it. I hope I'm not adopted. I don't think I am, but. Amazing. Oh. Let's crack this guy open. Oh my God. Don't leave me. This is my absolute favorite thing, that orange bit. Glorious. That is worth living for. I'm gonna mix it up in here. I love using these little shell heads. Okay, if I open up a restaurant, this is gonna be a meal. This is gonna be a little appetizer. Didn't work out. Yeah, this is gonna be a little appetizer here. Mmm. Take out all that yumminess. It's still really good. You know what race I think does look different? A lot different when they're raised here? Are Japanese people. I've known a lot of Japanese people that were born and raised in, you know, obviously in the US. I've grown up here, but they do look different to me. As opposed to, you know, the Japanese people that live in Japan. And actually I've had my old manager, she's Japanese, and I actually asked her about it one time. She's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Look, we may be more tan here. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what it is. If you have any idea, just let me know. I can't even talk. These crabs are so perfect. And just for some people, I think I should get this question, but I want to make it clear that there is, you know, a difference between ethnicity and nationality. So my ethnicity is Vietnamese, but my nationality is American. So therefore, I am considered Vietnamese American. And my parents immigrated here. I think in the 70s or the 60s, 70s. I forget. Oh, here's a little fun fact, or not fact, but I think people misunderstand this. So there's a difference between the word immigrating, which starts with an I, and the word emigrating, which starts with an E. So, emigrating, E. So think E, exit, right? So that means that you are emigrating from, let's say that I leave the U.S. I would say I'm emigrating from the U.S. So it's like you're exiting the US. But my goal is to live in Japan, right? So I would say, oh, I've immigrated to Japan. So it's kind of confusing, but I think people mix up those two a lot. Actually, people very rarely use emigrate, the one with the E, but it depends on what type of context or how you're saying the sentence, you know? The more you know, where's my rainbow? Yeah, so my parents came from Vietnam in the 70s. So that means that am I am first generation. There's another confusion. People always think that some people think that if you're born here from immigrants, you're considered second generation and they're considered first. But that's not true. My parents are just immigrants. But I was born here in Fountain Valley, California. So that means that I am first generation. And et cetera, et cetera. And their grandchildren will be the second generation. But yeah, I guess there's a little bit of confusion there too. I hope he's liking his food. That's so cute though. Well, we actually didn't eat, so I think that's why he knew what I was making too, and he loved it last time. He's so cute. Oh my god. Mmm. I am getting messy. By the way, second generation. I'm not having children. Ooh, I flung something. I'm not having children. Not right now. I don't even think about it. Well, I can't have children anyway. My god, if I was a woman, at this rate, I'd probably have 1 or 2 kids by now. But it's not gonna happen. I don't have a reproductive system. No uterus down there. I probably left that in my past life. I was probably some Renaissance prostitute. I probably did a good job too. No children. Second generation. I don't know. We'll see. I can adopt some cute child. We'll see. No promises though. 0. You know what? If I was a girl, I would think I would be pretty expensive. Pretty expensive by like, I would make sure that a guy pays for every Plan B pill after a good time. Oh my god, I would seriously plan B it up like no other. Another $50? Swipe. Oh my god, I know so many guys that have had to shell up that money. Hey, if you want a good time, you're gonna have to pay for it. That kind of seems like a modern day prostitute. I don't. What do you think? Listen, whatever. Nobody's a prostitute to me. Even if you are, who cares? Who the hell cares? Fantastic. I need to wipe my hands. Can I tell you something real sad though? You know, talking about being, a child of an immigrant, growing up in this society, I think that I had such a hard time. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. Those that are, from another country, born from immigrant parents, from anywhere. Maybe some of you guys can relate to this, but I had such a hard time accepting myself to be Asian. And I know that sounds crazy, but I I've always wanted to be white. I know that sounds terrible, but I've always wanted to just not be Asian. I loved it. Growing up, I loved it in middle school and high school. I loved being called whitewash. Like it almost enlightened me in a way. And it made me feel good, which is quite twisted if you think about it. But I was so ashamed of being Asian that I just thought that that was the coolest thing, that's the biggest compliment you can give me. And, you know, I don't exactly know where it stemmed from, but I feel like I only have the media to blame, right? Because I grew up watching basically just white people. There are a few ethnicities here, different colored people here and there, but there really wasn't much of a variety. And I think growing up and watching that, I've always just wanted to be accepted in that way or viewed so highly. You know, um, I know that a lot of people who are not Caucasian feel the same way. And it's sad. It's sad to know that that's the case. Ooh, this guy. Chunky. Squishy. I just thought white people were so beautiful. And in my head, I was just thinking, oh, I would never be able to feel good about myself because they're amazing in my eyes. They were just so amazing. It's just so sad to hear, especially from such a young kid. Today, I don't feel like that. Today, I'm like, whatever. I'm so proud of who I am. I guess part of it too is because, I've already said this before, I just felt like Asian men didn't get any attention, and maybe that was partly why, but there was a lot of rejection, there was a lot of all that stuff, so I think that didn't help the situation. It just added fuel to the fire. Um, I just always thought to myself, like, why are white people so lucky to have, such a vast genetic variation? I mean, what I mean is like they can have, different hair colors. They can have, I don't know, different eye colors, whatever. Freckles, usually. I mean, I have freckles, but you know what I mean. They have like a specific hair. I don't know. I was just always so envious. I guess that's, I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to think that it was super hard to be a minority, racially and sexually. So, you know, I'm Asian and I'm gay. So, but you know what? I wouldn't take any of that back. I really do think that I've grown so much emotionally. Like, I know a lot today because of those experiences. Okay, so there's a podcast that I did, I think a few months ago. And the reason why you guys don't know about it is because I just felt like what I was saying was a little too deep, even for me. I mean, it wasn't anything too crazy, but it just kind of struck a chord emotionally for me, and I didn't want to share it. But I think it's time that I share it, and I'll put it in the description down below. If you're interested, you could listen to it. If not, don't worry about it. Don't forget about it. But essentially, I just talked about like growing up being teased, you know? I mean, we've all been teased one way or another. So sometimes I feel like my situation is not as crazy enough or, you know, moving enough to even talk about, but it still affected me, right? So how can anyone else say that it's not a real problem when, as small as it may seem in the bigger scheme of things, it still changed me. It still affected me greatly. And I would say the same thing about you. Like, don't ever let anyone tell you that your problem is insignificant. Don't ever let anyone say, well, I have bigger problems, you know. When they're comparing themselves to you, that's when it's just like, nothing can be sorted out at that point, because now you don't want to talk about your small problem because right, it's so small in the bigger scheme of things, and that's not fair to you. And that's what happens when we bottle all those feelings up, when we take all these problems that haven't been resolved. Because why? You have your mom to be concerned about. Why? Because your friend just broke up with someone. So now you just kind of push everything, like, I don't know, sweep everything under the rug and completely forget about it. Now that small problem that you have is going to, I don't know, just kind of manifest itself into something even bigger. And that's when you break down and that's when you go insane. So no matter what the problem is, big or small, I think that we should all address it, whatever it is. That's essentially what I said in the video too. So my thing was that growing up, I went to Catholic school. And I remember this one time, this one random Sunday morning, I walk into class, just as I always do every single week. I sat down, and across the way, there was a whiteboard. You know, the one with the dry erase markers. And someone put, first they put Gaylord, which is Gaylord, right? And then someone else above that wrote, Thien is a Gaylord. So Thien is a was the second person's writing. I think at that age you don't know what to do. You don't really know like what are you supposed to do when someone is so mean to you? You know, what are you supposed to do when you're so alone in that situation? I mean, no one threw me in the dumpster, no one hit me, but when someone says something so mean like that and you're so young and like no one is defending you, everyone's just laughing, that's terrible. So I've made it a point today to be a kind person because, and I think that's why I am the way I am today, is because I make sure that everyone feels welcomed and loved and appreciated and acknowledged, because I don't think I ever want anyone else to feel that way. I mean, when you're emotionally hurt, when someone emotionally hurts you, you cannot call the cops, right? You cannot say, oh my gosh, this person has hurt my feelings. Did they hit you? No. You know, did they do something illegal? No. Oh, they just hurt your feelings. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do now if I can't report anybody because they've hurt your feelings or whatever? You just live with it. You just learn how to, I guess, heal on the inside, but that scar is like still there, you know? You just don't hit me, fine, hit me, but these physical wounds, they will heal. Maybe there's a scar, but they will heal. Anything that's inside mentally and emotionally, it's still there, you know? But I think it's part of our job, for you and for me, is to take it and become something else, right? That's why I did not want to share that podcast, because every time I listen to it, I just feel, my God, like I said in the podcast too, like sometimes I think about that kid, that little boy who sat in the classroom and saw a group of kids do that in front of every single person. It makes me sad because I want to run back as an adult to that child and say, it's fine. I want to hug him and say, you're cool, don't worry. Because 20 years from now, you'll be one of the strongest people that you'll know. No matter how small or big your problems are, they make you who you are. So don't you ever forget. Don't you ever forget what happened to you. Even something like, you know, your mom screaming at you for something, or telling you that you're too fat or too skinny or whatever. Those things haunt you. They seem so small. They seem such a minute detail in your life, but don't ever sweep it under the rug. It's not going to work. It just doesn't work that way. Everyone leads different lives. Okay, I hope you understand that. Some people have it better than you do. Some people have it worse than you do. But in the context of your life, in whatever is happening at the moment, if it's a problem, then it's a problem, period. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I was ready for that. I'm sorry. Let's eat. No, but really, who do you call when someone emotionally abuses you? Who gets taken away? I mean, I don't know. Therapy is good and all, but that's once you've already been really, when you're really been fucked up already, you know, mentally. Actually, I take that back. I think therapy is good for anybody, everyone, regardless if you think that you don't need it. I think everybody can use therapy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like get so emotional over seafood. But I think whenever I just think about myself as a child, I just feel sad. But you know what? I have that little boy, you know, me, to thank for who I am today as an adult. Oh my god, what a sad time. Don't be sad with me. Let's just enjoy some crab. Oops. I'll be fine, I promise. And I think that's why I talk so highly of women, because girls, you know, growing up, they rose me up from from the dead. They protected me, and I can't thank enough. Look, I could have done something crazy. You know, any of us that have been beat down emotionally as a child, whether it be from your peers, your parents, your family, your cousins, friends, whatever, teacher, it really is up to us what decisions or how our life pans out, right? We have so many roads. Which road are we willing to take? Unfortunately, some of us take the wrong path and, you know, do things that are just not, I mean, at that rate, you could be dead, whatever that case may be. But, or you have the path of just becoming stronger, right? Being a strong person and sharing that strength with other people and happiness with other people, because it's important. Like, we're all just trying to survive. One day, honestly, I know you guys say it all the time, but I really do think I'm going to be a therapist. I just don't know how that's going to happen. I'm trying to ignore it, but I feel like that's going to happen naturally. I also actually thought about volunteering at a suicide hotline. I mean, I'm not saying that I can handle that type of thing, but I think it's something that I'm interested in giving it a shot, you know? Like, there is so much power in listening to somebody. When you listen to somebody, when you give them attention, when you let them know that you are hearing them, you know, maybe even understanding them, that's really all that matters, you know? I know a lot of times this is probably the most unpopular opinion ever, and I'm kind of scared to say it, but if I just feel that if you struggle with anything, and I'm talking about like crazy thoughts, I'm talking about things like hurting someone else, killing them, hurting yourself, those things, I can't say for sure that they can be helped, right? However, what's happening is that we as people aren't willing to listen to them. We're so easy to dismiss them completely. And sometimes I think because of that, they end up committing their crimes. Heinous crimes, terrible crimes, not good crimes at all, obviously, but I just know that anyone who's having those thoughts don't really have much of a resource. They feel that everyone's going to judge them. Can you blame them? Can you blame them for not seeking any help? I mean, I don't. And I don't think people understand the problem with mental disabilities. That is a huge thing, and that's something that I hope that we all, as a society, I hope we stop underestimating that. Because mental illness is no bueno. Okay, I did not mean for that to be too... My God, how did this get so serious? Listen, we can't stop anything. Even with listening, we can't stop somebody from doing what they really, really, truly want to do. And that could be for many reasons. But if we can, why not try? You know, we're so quick to let people go, but at least give it a try and see what happens. You never know. Anyways, guys, I'm done here. Thank you so much for dealing with my little diary entry there. But that's what this is to me. I love you, and thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.